project teams in 2016 faced countless rejection as they tried to find a partner to help them empower women through their cars. They did not give up and called every car dealership in Dubai until one said, yes, we will help you host driver safety and car maintenance workshops, which were a huge success. The E7 Banat inspire us every year with your desire to go out and make a positive impact. Your tenacity and your ability to work through the storming and norming of working in a diverse team with strong personalities and opinions. And talking about strong personalities, I'm so pleased that Her Excellency Sada Madani, serial entrepreneur and the youngest board member of the Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry, who couldn't be with us today, has taken the time to record a message for the class of 2019 and all of the E7 Banat team members.
Hi girls, I was asked to come and inspire you. But funny enough, I know that if I came to you guys, you would have inspired me. Because I'm so proud of all the hard work you're putting into finding yourselves, unlocking your potentials, and following your dreams. Work on yourself because you are a brand, and don't let that brand down. Now, don't be intimidated by failure or the fear of failure because that's just an illusion that we build in our heads. Just like we put it up, we can take it down. And failure is something that teaches us, doesn't beat us. So you choose whether it beats you or teaches you. Now, sorry I couldn't be there. I had an urgent flight to Los Angeles. I'm there right now in my hoodie, doing my work, preparing for tomorrow. And I'm going to be with you guys soon. I'm wishing you all the luck and all the success on your seminar and what you're doing, girls. Love you.
This woman is fearless. She started her first business at 17, has experienced great success, and she has also had failed businesses and partnerships. But she always pushes beyond those situations and turns them into lessons and strengths. We're all here to help unlock the potential of some of the most inspiring girls in our community. This is what our program is designed to do. And the bonds that we create with this program live on, and friendships formed last a lifetime. But more importantly, why we are here and why we continue to dedicate our time to building this program is because of our vision, a generation of socially responsible women at the heart of our 7 Emirates. E7 is a stepping stone on the way to this big goal. Please allow me to share this journey in the voice of our previous graduates.
Giving back to the community and having the chance to do that is actually one of the best things that someone could ever have in their lives. To give back to your community is something really great.
So it was one of the greatest things that ever happened to me to be a part of E7 project.
You can meet different girls from different ages, from different countries.
E7 is all about giving back, and it's about yourself, learning about yourself in this terms. This is, for me personally, this is university itself.
It brought us together. We felt like we are more close, like real sisters in real life. It's like E7 gave us sisters we've never had in life.
Banat Banat, you have been chosen among a robust pool of applicants. We are excited about your ideas and commitment to have a positive impact on our community. Everyone in this room is rooting for you and invested in your success. Guests, we encourage you to tweet, pin, line, share, like, and Instagram your experience. Please use the hashtag E7 Summit and tag E7 Banat as much as possible when you do so. Let's get trending. We are live streaming on Instagram and Facebook. On behalf of Promise of a Generation, the E7 Executive Board, and all of our partners here today who are mentioned on the screen, I wish the class of 2019 success over the next days of this summit and a wonderful E7 journey. We'll kick off our program this morning with a massive dose of inspiration from leading daughters of the Emirates, women who lead in the path of Zayed every day, at home, at work, and in the service of the nation. I'm so pleased to introduce 4 women who inspire us all. Caroline Faraj, CNN Vice President and Head of Arabic Services, and our accomplished panelists, Afra Atiq, Emirati award-winning poet and spoken word performer, Safa Tariam, sports business consultant, and the first Emirati to graduate from the FIFA Master Program in International Management, Law, and Humanities of Sport. Rima Shetty Bitar, culinary entrepreneur and CEO of the Foodsters Inc., philanthropist and board member of the BRCR Shetty Foundation. Please may I ask you to join me on stage. Thank you so much, Caroline, for leading and moderating this ceremony.
It's okay, it's okay.
Good morning, everybody. I'm sorry for these technical issues, but this is part of the game. My name is Caroline, as Adela said. This is my third time moderating. I only missed one because I was traveling. Otherwise, I won't miss anything at all. It is always inspiring to talk to achievers and at the same time listen to your questions and the way that you are thinking and planning how to follow their steps. But at the same time, I'm sure that each and every one of you will think of a way that also you choose your own steps. You don't need all the time to follow others. You pick and choose whatever fits with your career and your character and the environment you're living in. You cannot live and do things that would contradict with your society or family or life or everything. You have to pick and choose whatever fits with you. But today we have a fantastic flavor. We have different fields, interesting fields, not something that you can sit behind a desk and computer, something that you have to be creative to prove yourself. And they're all creative women. So we start the discussion immediately, and be prepared. I'll be coming to you in between. So if you have any questions, just raise your hand, or if you have any comment, short sound bites. And I will definitely come back to you. I'll be engaging with you all the time, so we don't have a set of questions, discussion, and then questions. We will be always talking together as one family. So let's start. Thank you very much, ladies, for being here. I would like, first of all, to ask each one of you, in 2 minutes, tell the audience who you are. Forget about the bios and who you are. Yes. You think if you're quiet, I won't ask you?
I'm also excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Seven actually stopped me getting here, so I'm thankful for that. I'm a poet. I'm a PhD candidate. I went from somebody who nobody thought was going to do anything in school. I had a teacher once tell me that the most I could hope to become is a waste of space. And from then, I went on to become, a high-achieving student. I never thought I would be getting my PhD. I'm doing it now. I'm part of the Artist in Residence program at NYU Lubbock. I've been commissioned. I've performed on so many stages in so many different countries. But for me, the most important thing is giving back to the community. And so I was telling the panelists that I spend almost like 80% of my time speaking in schools and universities and making sure that people have access to poetry and creative outlets. And I think that's the core of who I am and who I am and do what I do. It's not about being on stage. It's not about being commissioned. It's not about having these big fancy poetry evenings. It's really about making sure that art and culture and creative environment is accessible to everybody. So I think that's
Wonderful. Thank you very much. We're talking about sports in general, we're talking about people.
So I'm just going to start off by asking the question. Has anyone of you ever done anything where you thought of doing something that you thought, well, no, that's not right, or what are people going to think, or what are people going to say? It's just more than you would imagine. So that's what I did. I was like, you know what? I want to wake up in the morning and I want to do something I'm passionate about, something that actually makes me happy to think about. And I'm a massive football fan. People who know me know that I live, breathe, eat football. So why not make that my job? So, you know, I had a regular job that I was good at, that I enjoyed. I like my college, but I was like, it's not my passion. It's just a job, it's not a career. Quit my job, went to do my master's in sports management and humanities and sports law. And you know, sometimes it's the people closest to you that are going to question that. And that's the hardest part, is that those people that you trust, that are in your comfort zone. They go, you sure you want to do that? First of all, you're a girl, and you're an Arab, and you're from the Middle East, and you're a Muslim, and you're this, and you're this, and you're this, and all these labels that might be true, but don't define you. For some reason, in their mind, standing in their way. And that's exactly what I said. Well, you know what? Yeah, I am all of those things, but that's exactly what I want to do. And I packed my bags, and I moved to Europe, and I did my master's, and I graduated, and I got a job at FIFA. And I was living in Switzerland for 4 years. And it was the best decision I ever made, because it made me realize that not only am I doing something that makes me happy, but I'm doing something that makes millions of people around the world happy. I mean, it has one of the biggest fan bases around the world. When I'm at a tournament, and I'm helping a little kid who can have a player walking out onto the field, or I'm helping a fan find a seat in the stadium. That gives me satisfaction, because I had a part of that, whether it was big or small. And it's just going to show you that no matter what you want to do, what makes you happy, people will always put a limit on you. And it's up to you to decide, is it worth going after? And for me, it was. And I think that's, you know, at the end of it, what you need to find what you're passionate about. Thank you. Now we're going to a different field.
Totally different field. Hello, everybody. I've just heard from E17 how difficult it is to get here, so congratulations to all of you. I've spent my life combining community work with what we do professionally, so I've never had to take time out to do good for the community. It came as part and parcel of what we do. And it's so nice to see there are so many of you doing that, because to me, I feel responsible for the entire world. And I always got worried that people don't feel that way, but knowing that all of you here do, it means we've only got a future, a better looking future for our world. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So, I'm sure that, you know, reaching this level, and especially unique field that you're doing, you're so passionate and you're doing, but you need to have a support. And I'm sure that the support, being in this part of the world, you have to have support from within. Who was your supporting to go that field?
You know, I think it's important to have support when I do, but it's also important to recognize that there are people that you can do as an individual, because it really echoed what Sandra was saying, because it is usually the people that are closest to you that have these reactions to what it is that you're going to do when you tell them. They have these massive freakouts, and so I think you do need that support, but you also need to know that you can do things on your own. You can be your own person.
But was there any support in your field, in your life?
Definitely, I make a point to support myself, to surround myself with people that support me. So I'm thankful that I have such a supportive family. My parents have been incredibly supportive. My siblings, my circle of friends. Is there an echo?
No, you're good.
And so I think it's been my circle, but I've lost people along the way. So it's that really close circle of friends, and definitely my parents and my family.
So you gain and you lost as well.
Yeah, I think when you do anything outside of the box, you need to understand that you're going to lose people that you thought were going to be in your life forever, and that's just kind of an unfortunate fact of the way that things go.
So you said that you took everything and you went outside and you went to, it's not an easy decision to do. No. And being single, female, Arab, Muslim, from this part of the world, it's not easy that, yes, I decided to go to Switzerland. So how did it happen? Who supported you?
You know what, my family were split. You know, selfishly, some of them wanted to keep me here, which I took it as a compliment because I think I'm great. And then some of them were like, you know what, if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? You're going to regret it. You know, I was at that threshold of a turning point in my life where, okay, now I'm going to do something for me. Because when I was younger, I never had the thought of, hey, maybe I can. you that I don't have to, you know, graduate with my degree in marketing and just get a marketing job and just go with the motions. I wish someone had told me that then. And my support system, honestly, if I had to name one person, it was my mom. Because she was able to convince my dad, first of all. And second of all, she was the one person that said, you know what, you do what you need to do. You follow the path that you need to follow and know that we'll always be here for you. Your home is your home, your family is your family. Regardless of what happens in Europe, you know that you can always come back. And this will never change. This is the stable part of your life. Now go out and do it and then come back and we'll be here. And it was her that, you know, changed so many things in my life. At that moment, the moment she said that to me, I was like, you know what, I'm good. I can do this.
Very good. You come from a different culture, but at the same time you were born and raised here. So it's a mixed kind of culture. Was there any challenges when you decided what to do, and who was supporting you? Was it the family or outside?
So for me, it was internally, I had to be clear about being so different. So that clarity is very important. And after that, it was developing the communication skills to be able to win the support. Communication skills can either create war or bring peace. It's very important to communicate your message. And those are the two things I had to learn. One, be clear and sure that this is what I wanted to do and why I wanted to go about doing it. And then explain it to 6 very diverse family members who are extremely traditional. And that's what kind of got me to win the support of my entire community and everything else. And that's really where I learned to gain the support. So I couldn't demand it. I had to kind of work through, understand it. And I think having those 6 diverse people got me to really think clearly what it is I want to do, because at the end of the day, thought creates reality.
True. I'll stay with you as well. You studied something and then you went to the field. So was that because of passion or because of that's better, it's a better job, better reputation, and more money? So which one was first?
So for me, it's never been about the money. I think you need to do what you know you can do and what you know you can kind of make a difference in. You need to meet a critical need. And when you meet that critical need, things will always come. It's about doing it right. You're going to make so many mistakes down the way. We've opened up companies and shut companies. There was a point where I could have either shut down, gone down and become a mother, or learn from everything I had done wrong and take it to the next level. Fortunately enough, I was young enough to take those failures at the time from a health perspective and other perspectives, and I just moved on. I did my PhD from everything that I didn't do well. And now I'm I know what not to do, I'm still trying to figure out what to do.
And in your case, what was it? Because you studied something and then you worked something else. So how did it happen?
You know, it got to a point where I realized that it's never too late. Like, yes, I had my degree, I went to a great university, I worked for about, 8, 9 years in that field, and a lot of the times I thought I was stuck in that, but that was the choice I made, and, that's what I need to continue with. But then I realized, I was like, there's always something more. You can either go back to school, do another undergrad, do a post-grad, do your PhD, do whatever you need to do, and keep going. And it's never, you pick something and it's not set for life. You can change your mind. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to realize, what worked for me back then doesn't necessarily work for me right now. Maybe right now I want to do something else. And that's really was a turning point for me, is that I realized that I'm waking up in the morning, the first thing I think about, why can't that be my job? Like, why can't I make a living out of that? Yeah, maybe it pays less, maybe people are gonna think I'm weird. I've had comments of like, you like football? Like, you're wearing heels. Oh, you like football? Like, you've got makeup on. Like, yes, I like football. And I, fix my hair, put makeup on, and wear heels, and, two things are not mutually exclusive. You're allowed to have more than one interest. I spend a lot of my time in the kitchen cooking. I do kickboxing. I'm more than just, my interests. I'm a person that has, different things that surround me, and that's okay. So, my advice to people is, just because you're an engineer doesn't mean you can't have an interest in the arts, or just because you're a doctor doesn't mean you can't, paint on the side. Like,
allow yourself to explore, allow yourself to look at different things that interest you, that inspire you, that provide a different source of entertainment for you. It's okay.
So the two ladies here, they followed their passion, and they said, now you're doing your PhD, and your business is poetry. Is it passion or is it money?
Contrary to popular belief, there is not a lot of money to be made in poetry. I think you have to be smart about things. I went through the same thing. I got my undergrad in something, I got my master's in something else, and my PhD is completely different. So you do reach a point where you realize that you have a choice, but I realized that you can make things work for you. You can take what you've learned, you can take the business side of things, and you can apply it to the things that you're passionate about. And I think that that's your biggest selling point. I mean, every day we have these new businesses coming up, these new fields, these new careers, but you can't start up passion. You either have it or you don't. And if you don't have it, you need to find it. So my business is poetry. My passion is poetry and performance and arts, and the PhD is something that really complements it in that sense, because it adds credibility. It's research intensive. So I think you need to. There's this idea of the struggling, starving artist, and I would say I'm normally starving, but the bottom line is that if you want something bad enough, you will find a way to make it work, and you will find a way to make a living off of it. It's not that I have to be a struggling artist. I have to, be that stereotype that people have about artists, because it is doable. You can get commissions. There are institutions that will support you. There are things that you can do. You need to be able to navigate that. You have to be street smart about it.
That's very interesting. I need to ask you now. Each one of you is studying something. Are you studying it because that's your passion, or that was the only chance for you to go to university, or your parents want you to study this kind of specialty? Can I see hands? If you don't, I will force you to ask. Please.
Yeah, I studied.
Can you get a microphone here, please? And I need somebody here as well. Please, go ahead.
So I study business because I'm planning to start my own business in the future, so it's my passion. And I get some support from my family, they help me when I need. Yeah, so when I need to get business ideas, I go back to my brother, to my sister, asking them. So yeah, it's a passion, and I get support from my family.
So it's a passion. Have you thought about money? Income to be independent?
Actually, you have this money part, but then the best part about it is when you can give back. So I'm having this idea of giving back to the community and to give money.
So in the work that I've done in healthcare and everything, it's always you have to make sure it's sustainable. There are two things. When you want to give back, you can either give back by getting funding from others, and then you spend all your time searching funding instead of actually focusing on how to give back. I don't think it's ever too early to do that if you do it the right way and if you are comfortable. For you to grow, you need to always focus on how do I don't want to worry about personally what I need to do. I want to focus on where it is I'm going, and that's why I said the clarity is so important. The community, for me, what worked was writing it all out, because when you write it out, you're putting a thought out there, and suddenly your entire body and the universe and everything kind of works in that direction, so you leave it to the rest of it. You've written it out, you made a promise, and now the rest will follow. You just got to keep focusing on what you're doing. You can give back at the age of 6. My kids spend time in villages in India and villages in Lebanon playing with tons of other kids. They teach them different games, those kids teach them different games. It's not giving back, it's being inclusive. You have to feel responsible for me, you, her dog, everybody. Only then will you be able to kind of do something. So I don't think there's an age for it.
Thank you very much. Now, anybody would like to say anything here? If not, please go ahead.
My name is Mariam. Chemistry was my passion since day one. When I was in high school, and I decided to study chemical engineering in my undergraduate. But when I started my major, which is chemical engineering, I discovered that it is totally different than chemistry. Chemistry is something else, and chemical engineering is something else. So I still enjoy chemistry, but I found that chemistry where you solve problems. And I'm really a person who's hardworking and like to solve problems, so I enjoy it.
That's very, very good. Another question I want to ask again, then we'll go back to the panel. Anybody here studied something because your parents asked you to study it? Please. Microphone here, please.
Hi, my name is Fatma. So my passion has always been arts, designing, drawing. Ever since I was a kid, I was always a very creative person. But when I went to university, my family kind of pushed me to go towards business, so it was a constant struggle before starting university to find something in between. So we compromised and I studied PR and communications. Now, it might have not been what I wanted, but I feel somehow the universe chose this path for me because I find myself excelling in what I do right now. And you can find creativity in any field you're put into, even if it's not your choice. You can somehow find your way.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Another person here, please.
Hi, my name is Mariam. I'm from the Arabian Coast, and I also studied business in college. And I couldn't agree more with Safa and the other ladies. Congratulations for accomplishments first. And I couldn't agree more about that. And our interests doesn't define us, and it's absolutely normal that we have different interests in different stages of our lives. And after
studying something because your parents asked you to?
Yes, they thought business and economics are suitable for me and for my future career. But later on, after like 10 years and working in merger and acquisitions and business environment and pharmaceutical, corporate side of pharmaceutical companies, and I felt like I'm not in the right field, and I started getting interested more in journalism and media, where I am right now for the past 5 years. And it was a struggle, but I reached a realization that my past experience in all the things I've worked in, all the fields, different fields I've tried and experienced, and I was searching for my passion in it. It all was the driving force, all the roots of my creativity now in media and journalism. So our different passions during different times of our lives, they are not a bad thing. We shouldn't feel confused, or we shouldn't feel that we should have started in some field and stayed in it for the rest of our lives.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just to tell you something very quick. I'm a journalist, as you know. I studied journalism in my undergrads and postgrads, and I've been working as a journalist for almost 30 years. But my dad wanted me to become a businesswoman to run the family business. And when I'm the #1 kid in the family, so everybody was celebrating and having celebrations that I'm going to register at the university. So my dad went with me and my mom, and I was walking with him, and then I said, let's go back. He looked at me and said, that's journalism, we're going to business. I said, yeah, but I already registered and I was accepted to do journalism. And then my dad was looking at my mom and said, but journalism, that would never even cover the cost of your jeans. I said, well, that's my problem, that's not your problem. And he was really shocked that I'm not going to do business and to run the family business. And his bad luck, as he saw, my brother and my sister, none of them actually agreed to study business and to run the family business. So he accepted it, but the one who accepted this in a way, in a polite way, forced him to accept my opinion was my grandfather, not even my father. So it's something that if you believe in it and you're passionate about it, I challenge my dad, yes, but I'm still working as a journalist. Because that's what my passion is. Maybe it's not paying as much as other jobs like uni and definitely less than others, poetry and journalism, but that's good enough. This is what you need to do and this is where your passion is. But that said, it's not always important. You need to know your rights and you need to know that you have to have a good pay. You cannot just say, I'm doing it because I'm only passionate, but you have to have also a proper income. Now, I know most of you are getting the money from your families. The time will come when you will stop doing that and you need to be independent. When did you stop taking money from your family? Are you still taking money?
No, I mean, I've always been independent. I've always had different jobs. I worked for a number of years before I decided to quit my job and to do poetry full time. So there are ways. There are ways to do it, especially as an artist. I would just say, I don't know where you were. You were just talking about studying business and doing your something. Don't look at it as I have to do business, because those are transferable skills. Anything you learn in business is a transferable skill that you can use to fuel whatever it is that you're passionate about. And that's what I did. It's about being independent in your thinking. It's about being independent financially and building yourself up. And I feel like we're constantly bombarded with all of these people and like the perfect lives, and they're making so much money, and most of them are like face models, they do nothing, and they get money down, they're going to see in life. But you need to understand that everybody has their own path. And so for me, the independence came when I realized that, what I'm seeing about other people in their fields is not, one, it's probably not reality, and two, it's probably not applicable to me. So you always have to have that independent kind of thinking, and everything else follows that.
That's wonderful. What was your case? Are you still getting your salary from that? When was the last time?
I thought I got some money for Eid. My mom, I'm something like this, so every Eid she would come to me like, it's okay, but it's more like a cultural thing, so I'll hang on to that. That's good petrol money. But you know what? It was really early on. I was very fortunate to have a scholarship when I went to university. So that was already like a loan taken off my parents when I went to university right out of high school. But I still obviously had some pocket money. And then, 3.5 years later, graduated, got my first job, and I think that was it. It was 2004. I don't say no to gifts if my parents don't give them to me, but I was very independent. And jokes aside, working all those years before I realized or decided to take the step on a passion, like she said, a lot of the skills are transferable. I don't regret it for a second. Everything I've worked in, everything I've studied helped me in what I do today. But also I was able to, gather enough money and quit my job and basically be unemployed for a year as a student. I paid for my own university postgraduate, and that was because of the work I did before. I was able to live in 3 different countries, pay rent, pay taxes. And you guys are not used to taxes, but let me tell you something, the taxes in Switzerland, they're a killer. So I pay taxes, I pay my rent, I pay for so many different things that I never thought I would have to pay for, because we're very fortunate living here in the UAE when we live with our families, or whether we don't have all these different government fees to pay. So I think the financial side of it is, if you do want to do something, you have to think about it. Yeah, passion is important, but you need some financial planning to make it work.
Absolutely. In your case,
So for me, it was right after college, and again, culturally, for my parents, that was a very awkward conversation. But for me, it was more because I told them I had gone to university with a few people who had come from very affluent families, and overnight, for some reason, it was gone because of some of the countries that they were living in. And I promised myself I'm going to learn to live on only my salary, because whether I have everything or I have nothing, it shouldn't affect my happiness. And that was one of the reasons I kind of took a decision and said I want to live with my salary. My salary when I started a few decades ago was $3,000 on a monthly salary. Yeah, I lived with my parents at the time. Again, culturally, you can't go out and live somewhere else, but everything else was on me. And I think that was one of my best lessons in life, because whether I have the ability to buy something or not, it doesn't make a difference to how happy I am or how unhappy I am. So it's become irrelevant to me. And this is the most important thing I want to teach my kids as well, because I think that sets so much more ease for the rest of the
That's very interesting. Now, we talk about success, and no doubt, nobody can even argue that I have successful in the room here on stage. If I ask you, how do you measure success?
I have not figured out how to do that yet.
But when do you feel that, okay, I achieved this, let's go now to higher level?
So I'm an obsessive planner. So I always have a list of every December I make my strategic plan for the year.
Which is very strange for an Arab, by the way. Good plan. But I'm an Arab, so I'm telling you.
But I have goals that I want to achieve on a personal level, on a professional level. So I look at those and I can check things off and feel really proud of what I've done. But I've also learned that even in your failures, there's success. And I've gone through things artistically where I thought I would never recover, and it was the end of the world, and how can I go on after this? I'm a poet, so I'm very dramatic about things. And I look at those as actually being springboards to success. But I also measure it in terms of how did I get there? What did I go through? What did I learn to get there? I mean, it's fun. It was amazing. I was on the stage with my opera last night. It was incredible. And I remember at the end, people were telling me, oh, this is a career milestone. This is amazing. And you must feel so successful. And I did feel successful. But for me, the success wasn't being on the stage. It was what I went through to get there. Everything I've gone through and I've built it myself to get to that point is a measure of success for me.
You mentioned, I'm sorry to put you mentioned something about failure. Like, can you tell us one example about failure and how was like your reaction? Because we have all relate. We have success stories, but we also have some drops and some failures. So that we were able to survive and we were able to turn the page, and here we are. But it's good to hear also when you have a failure, what to do.
I cried a lot.
But I was your human.
Yes. But I think, as an artist, you apply for a lot of things, you apply for a lot of commissions, you go to a lot of competitions, and I've gone through so many rejections, and there was one in particular that I thought I was going to get. I thought it was in the bag, and the judges loved it, it was amazing, it was, it had a lot of potential, and I didn't win. And I'm one of these people that when I don't win, I go into this post-failure kind of thinking, what did I do? These are the bosses. No, I did everything, I checked everything. And you really just have to accept it, and I've learned over the years, you just have to accept it and learn from it and move on. You literally have two choices. You can cry about it and be stuck in that, or you can learn from it and you can move on. I chose to move on. It's a conscious choice that you have to make. You can feel things. I think the biggest lesson for me from failure was that you need to be able to feel it. You feel it, and that's okay. You don't have to be bulletproof all of the time. I ate a lot of ice cream. I do a lot of. I felt things, and I feel like for me that's where the failure was, because I felt like I wasn't able to handle this. And I look back and I could have handled it better.
How do you do success?
You know what? I'm a bit of a list maker myself. I know we're supposed to be right? I literally make lists for everything. I plan, even holidays, I still for fun. I plan them. I make lists. Like Sunday, we're going to eat at this restaurant, and we're going to take a nap at 4 p.m. So I'm a real planner. And when I'm on a job, I make lists. They're to-do lists. I literally draw a little box that I can check off as we go along through the day. And for me, success is when I look back at them and I realize, you know what, first of all, I did everything that I said I was going to do. I did everything that people expected me to do, because they're two different things. And then I'm happy with those two things that I accomplished. It's a matter of satisfaction. There's a lot of things that I did right and that I did well that didn't make me feel so good. And whether you can look at it as success or not, some people would say yes. You made that deal, you got that check. Like, did it make you feel good? Maybe not, it wasn't something I was particularly interested in, I just had to do it, I had to live the emotions. That's really what it is for me.
You didn't feel good, does that mean that you feel as if you failed?
not something I'm going to remember. Like for me, success is a milestone that I will remember. I will go back to 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line. That for me is success. It's that thing that I'm proud to talk to people about. It's that thing that I'm going to, hopefully one day I have kids tell them, you know what, that was the moment in my life that I succeeded. I don't dwell too much on failures. Of course I have failures. I have failures all the time. And a lot of times people say, failure, defines success or it's, it helps you get to where you want to be. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think too much about it. Yeah, of course there are lessons to be learned and they're in the back of my head, but I don't focus too much on it because if you do, for me at least, I won't move forward. And I like to go full speed ahead. Okay.
I'm going to make 2 comments. One on the thing that you were talking about failure. It's so interesting. Some of your best ideas or some of your best possibilities can only happen when you are in the most bottom moment of your life. So when things really hit the fan is the only time where you can probably come up with that turning point that will make you, remember that for the rest of your life or really mark where you're going for your life. So that's when you were talking about failure. Please don't ever be scared of it because that's, when you're failing that, okay, now I know something amazing is going to turn around. That's what
it takes, let's be fair, it takes time until you reach that level sometimes, that, convincing yourself. But you have to live time of, okay, I didn't do it right, but and then you move forward. If you don't live, if you don't give it time, it's like crossing the street.
No, it's very important to experience that because unless you feel the sadness, you won't feel the happiness. So you kind of have to experience it and feel it. If you don't feel the down, you don't know what the up is like. So you can't cover it. But you have to feel down to be able to feel up again. For me, success is really about the lives I've impacted. I would like to wake up every morning knowing that I did make at least one person smile yesterday. That to me is success, and I'd like it to happen on a daily basis.
That's wonderful. Any questions before we move to another part of the discussion? Please, microphone here, please.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to the audience and panel. My question is regarding a previous discussion on goals. Speaking of myself, when I was in 12th, I did my medical, I did science. And at that point, my parents gave me a chance that choose what you want to do in your life. At that point, I was very confused because they have asked me to do. And after doing my 12th, I knew I couldn't do science at all because, I wanted to do pharmacology and then I got to know there are lots of stuff to learn upon. So I thought it's very difficult for me to do so. I chose business, and with the passage of time, I got to know that marketing is my passion. I'm passionate about events and exhibitions and those just creative things happening all across the world. My question to everyone out here is that when a student gets an opportunity from the parents, from surrounding people that choose what you want to do in your life, and at that point, alhamdulillah, I'm very satisfied. But at that point, when a child who is around 12, in the 12th standard, it's very difficult for that girl or a boy to choose what to do in life because they're so confused with they have given such a big decision. So I have a question for this, what should they do at that point?
You were 12 years old and your parents...
No, not 12 years old. I was in 12th standard.
Oh, okay.
At that point, when you give a chance to do something different, to choose your career, and you're confused. So, yeah. I'm happy this time, but just for people who are not.
Thank you very much. Anyone would like to answer this question? Go ahead.
I'd like to ask that question.
Please go ahead. I'll come back to you. Please, go ahead.
So I think if you're...
I need short answers, please, as well, because we are running out of time.
I think if you're given the chance to actually make a decision for yourself and you're feeling confused, you're obviously surrounded by a lot of people who are willing to have conversations with you. And to me, having conversations with the generations older and the generations younger have been the most amazing thing because there is so much to learn from everybody, whether it's a 2-year-old or a 25-year-old. You could be creating technology but you could also be learning from the past experiences and information of the older generation. So if you're given that opportunity, take full advantage and talk to everybody you can so that you can write your own story that works for you from learning from everybody else.
Thank you.
The most important thing, and you're going to spend a lot of your time in your life on these, the most important thing is to realize that it's not a one-time deal. It's not I choose to study this and then that's it. You can always change your mind. You can always find out what you're passionate about. The things that you are passionate about when you're 16 are probably not going to be the same things you're passionate about when you're 30. So just think about it in the long term, that you can always change your mind. It's not a one-time.
I agree. Before I give the gentleman, if you just give my comment to the gentleman over here, if I just give you also my feedback, I encourage the young people, whenever, even my staff, when they start working with me, and if they don't know something, they need to say that I need support, I need help. Don't claim that you can do it because you're given this and you do it wrong, or you do it with lots of quote-unquote failures that would impact you and affect your feelings and your feeling. If you don't know, say I don't know. If you need help, ask for help. Don't feel shy, because as Abba said, you can do mistakes and then learn from them and continue. It's not the end of the world. Even if you do something, and I have a person that basically studied engineering, and then after that she found that she's so passionate about journalism. She came to me and people were telling me, but she's not a journalist, she didn't study journalism or anything related to journalism. I said, well, we can see. Now she is amazing and she's working as a journalist. So there's something that comes, but she couldn't say no because her parents wanted to do. So answering your question, my idea, my opinion, it's fine to go and ask for help or tell them I don't know how to do anything. Sir.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, Caroline.
Hi.
Hi, Afra. Nice to see you again.
Go ahead.
So, listen, I think my name is Sharif. I'm a mentor from last year's E7. So, in answer to your question, Career Sphere actually solved that issue with their project last year, and that resonated with what some of the ladies are saying. This idea of exploration. So, the idea of basically getting exposed to different kinds of careers, asking questions like you're saying, and also what Afra said is very, very important. The idea that you have to have the courage to say no and to change based on your own passion. I personally changed my major 7 times in university, and I'm lucky that I was given the freedom to do that.
I don't recommend to do it 7 times.
That's what happened. So,
but we have to thank you very much. Now we have can I get another 5 minutes extra on that? Is that okay, Adela? 5 minutes? Okay, please. Short questions, please, or short minutes.
Yes, actually it's not a question, so I'll do you a good service. It's just an answer. Something that wasn't stated is to try out things. I met a person who said, I'm a prototype. So think of yourself as a startup, try out things. You want to be an artist? Well, just start drawing on the side. Start telling your friends.
Absolutely.
Try it out and keep searching. Because another quote that inspires me a lot is that some of the most inspiring people don't know at 50 what they really want to aspire to do, and they keep searching and trying out new things.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Please, go ahead. Quick.
Hello. So my question to the panel, I think it's important for the girls at this early stage of their careers to really understand how do you manage a very successful work-life balance, and what's your, guidance in that respect?
We have another question and then we will come back to 2 questions. But please, go ahead. Do we get the microphone here as well? Because that's the last question.
So I just need some advice. I did engineering and I did it out of interest. I am working somewhere who I love. I love my job. I love the company I work for. But unfortunately, it's not my passion. So my question is, how do you take a calculated leap? Because I'm making enough money to be independent. I have enough time for my family. And I have time to do things that I love on the side. So when do I decide that enough of this job, now I want to do it full time, my passion full time. I want to take a calculated leap. I don't want to just jump into something.
But you just stood up here and said, open and clear to everybody that you are passionate about something else. So what's stopping you?
Because you have to take a calculated leap. It cannot be just
If you keep
a
calculating things, you will have to take a step.
No, but it has.
Calculated to a reasonable time. You cannot just keep calculating for another 20 years.
Of course, it requires planning. So if you had to give us advice, because I'm inexperienced, I want to make a good plan. So what would you suggest?
Understood. Please. Is it a question or no? Go ahead. Yeah.
My question is how to deal with the closest people to you who don't want to support you because they don't want to see you fail.
The closest people to you. Okay. Let me start with this question. What do you do when you see the close people surrounding you, are not supporting you because they don't want you to fail? Right? Is that the question?
Yeah, they don't want to see you fail.
You don't want to see you fail. Anybody wants to answer this question?
So it's happened to me many times before. I'm Indian, married to a Lebanese, come from a healthcare background, and I'm a chef. And for me, the most important thing has been communication. Because when I was marrying my husband, I told my parents, I said, if I'm not honest to myself, I cannot be honest to anybody else. Right? So when you start with that approach and saying, I don't know I failed until I've actually failed, otherwise it will be something burning inside me for the rest of my life, and I don't think I can live with that. So this comes from the lady's point here, you got to try it out. And the way you communicate it to your parents, if you walk into a room angry, people are going to be defensive. If you walk into a room with all honesty and love, you've broken every barrier that you can't see, transparent barrier there, that they will accept what you're trying to say. And that for me, that worked. When I used to walk into a room angry and I discussed, I already thought in my head about what my battle was, I would only get defensiveness. Nobody's listening to you. But when I walked in knowing that, okay, I want to have a conversation and try and work this out, it changed the entire ball game.
Thank you. I'll leave the last thing. Can I please answer the negative? I'll actually answer the thinking in the last piece. And you know what? There's fear. It's clear. I was scared. I was like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? But listen, it's one thing to say, you know what, yeah, drop everything, go, follow your passion. But it's another thing to be prepared for the what if scenario. What if it doesn't work out? I quit my job before I even applied for my master's. So what if I don't get accepted? I mean, there are thousands of people applying, and they only accept 30 people here. And what if I don't get in? But I do, like I said, I have a safety net. I have my family that if anything goes wrong, I can come back to them and say, guys, I need your help. I tried it, it didn't work out. You know what? That was there. My job, I had a degree. I studied, you had a degree. No one can ever take that from you. The skills that you learn, no one can ever take that from you. So you try your passion. If it doesn't work out, what's the worst thing that can happen? You come back and apply for another job. You're still an engineer. You know what I mean? But what if it does work out? Do you ever wonder about that? Like, don't think about what it does work out. What if it does work out? If it don't, why is that going to be? Okay, our last question was after I can answer myself.
I think it's a matter of prioritizing and learning how to say no. And the best piece of advice that I got in my career was someone told me I need to learn how to say no. I need to pick your battles, find out which ones are the ones you're fighting for, which ones are not. And I think that's really important. I think a lot of the times, especially as women, people question our commitment, and they question our commitment to everything. Are you committed to your job? Are you too committed to your job that you can't have a family, or too committed to your family that you can't be good at your job? You have to be good at both, and it's exhausting. So there's always that external pressure. One of the first times I did spoken word poetry, I got off the stage, and this woman comes up to me, she's like, I love what you do. You're amazing, but aren't you worried that if you do this, you're not going to get married? Okay, why? But that's the thing. People will question your commitment. It's a matter of prioritizing. It's prioritizing your family, prioritizing your career, figuring out what is important to you and how much you're willing to, how far you're willing to go for each of them. I go to the ends of the world back for my family. I know that's a priority. There are lines that you don't cross, but my career is also really important to me. So learn how to prioritize, learn how to say no, list it out. I'm a big fan of lists, and see how that goes.
Thank you very much. I know you have lots of questions and you'd like to talk more and more with all of us here who sitting here, but we need to stop it because the organizers have some more stuff to share with you. So thank you very much to the ladies here. Thank you very much. The microphone is yours. Ladies?
Thank you. I'd just like to invite Akram to share a special surprise with us.
So if you didn't already catch that, I'm Afnan the poet. With spoken word poetry, they tell you if you hear something you like to snap. That's the part where you snap. Okay. Yes. Jamnunia next. So I'm going to share a poem with you that I want to first and foremost dedicate to all of the wonderful panelists and everybody who put this event together, and everyone who stalked me to get here, and all of the people in the audience. Just before I start, put your hand up if you have a dream. It doesn't matter what the dream is as long as you have one. Okay, perfect. Put your hands up if you have a dream, but you think that dream is not going to make you money. Put your hands up if you have a dream, but you know deep down inside that you'll be really successful at it, but you have this fear of failure, or falling on your face, or judgment, or in my case, people think you're not going to get married. all of the above. Okay, perfect. This is to remind you that it's okay to dream. It's to remind you that you can always dream, and to find your voice and use it. So if you don't remember anything of what I said on the panel, at least remember that. Ready? Okay, I'm going to need some more enthusiasm because I can't give you as much as I can. The fastest way to kill a poetry performance is to be generic. The fastest way to kill a dream is to suffocate it. Squeeze out every last breath, wedge it between the words realistic and unattainable, wrap it in blankets of self-doubt and tell it has no place here. Ostracize and outcast until no one recognizes its face or speaks its name. Kill off passion. Make sure that if the dream ever dares to show its face here again, the dream has no friends and nowhere to stay, so when they tell you, you can be anything you want to be. They mean something within reason, within the constructs of a society that dictates what is acceptable. Find a job that is acceptable. Silence your passion, watch your dreams like a silent movie on repeat. When I tell them I'm a poet, when I tell them I am a poet, they look at me like a failed business venture. Sorry, we can't meet with you. Call us back when you have a stronger proposal. Poets and entrepreneurs both know convention is just convenience we use to convince ourselves that our dreams are worthless. We are worth less than is customary, convicting us with no judge and a fact-lacking jury. Your Honor, I move to dismiss the motion of the notion of the continuous quote status quo. You can't quell my concern. Yes, you can direct probe me on that. Let's recap. They say they like my flow, but I know that it means that we object to this rejection. Let the record show we know it is never about the final destination. It is about how badly we want to get there. This is for people who want to get there. The underdogs, who know they can be the odds when the deck is clearly stacked against them. These are people who know it can happen when muggles believe in magic. They look to new horizons like Frodo leaving the Shire, scared but determined. They are not misfits, they are perfectly placed apostrophes. The difference between Y-O-U apostrophe R-E and your this is about survivors like a skin grown thick like armor, riding through life like a battlefield. We are knuckles bruised from knocking on doors that said they'd never open because our ideas were never good enough. But the same people rejecting us, the same people rejecting us are the same people who use the flower crown filter and forget that Snapchat was a startup. Those who stuff the makers of change like monsters in boxes in bedtime stories, forced to roam around under cover of darkness. The ones who forgot how sleep feels because their dreams are more important than rest. No wonder they say 2 a.m. was made for the artists. We know this is not the quickest way to become famous. It is about looking at what is and figuring out how to change it. It is about life slapping you across the face and you spring back. I got this. This is me. This is me being asked to spell the word unnecessary in the 6th grade spelling bee, replacing a C with an S, 2 S's with a C, tripping over my words, not seeing what I was saying, stuttering off the stage in shame and coming back, a slam queen, this is for him. Who knows his app can revolutionize the way we see business saves, his allowance because investors won't take a chance on someone armed with just a dream and a business plan under the age of 19, this is for her. With a passion that can outshine the stars in our voice, like an anthem, we've lost too many stars to this life's brutal clenched fist. This is not a motivational speech. This is a call to create communities of creators, engineers, of ideas. It is knowing that no amount of training and social conditioning can change what you believe in, so open your arms. Leave your hearts out like a welcome mat. Turn on the porch lights. It's been a starless night for far too long. Let the dreams know. Let the dreams know. It's time to come home. Thank you.
Thank you, Afra, so much for that call to action and to bring the dreams back home. And thank you to our inspirational speakers for sharing that you feel responsible for the entire world, for inspiring to do something scary, and for advising us to ask for help and how to say no. Before we close this morning, allow me to express my thanks to all our founding partners, our co-hosts for this program, without whose help this summit would not be possible. Global Teams, a learning and development company who design and deliver this 9-month program. Emirates NBD, the largest bank in the country which has supported E7 since 2014, when the program was just an idea. And Altamont Group, an education advisory firm who connects E7 with all the higher education institutions in the UAE. I would also like to thank all of our other partners, CNN, who supports our program with internship opportunities for our participants, Fleischman Hillard for their PR expertise, K&L Gates for their legal advice, Shira for supporting our Banat who want to turn their E7 projects into social enterprises, and Karim for transporting our Banat across the UAE to participate in the program. We're also grateful to Dusit D2 Kens for hosting our board strategy meetings, and to the Holiday Inn Dubai Festival City for working with our budget and hosting us in this beautiful ballroom and hotel. The Holiday Inn team has been amazing to work with, and I was so touched that they welcomed our Banat with beautiful bouquets of roses in their workshop room. We express our thanks to all the other partners who have enabled this program. And last, but definitely not least, I have the utmost gratitude and love for our E7 Executive Board and extended team, whose time, dedication, vision, and energy have propelled this program off the ground every year for the past 4 years. Please, our E7 board and committee members and our speakers, may I ask you to come on stage for a photo before we close the morning. And I will also then ask our Banat and volunteers to join. Thank you everyone for being with us today and for sharing this special moment as we officially kick off the E7 class of 2019. Please may I ask our speakers to come back on the stage, and we'd just like to give you a token of our appreciation.
Careful.
And we're just going to take some group photos, but I invite the rest of you to keep the conversation going and enjoy the refreshments outside as well. Thank you so much for being here. Our team, may I ask you to come up on stage as well for a photo?
Yeah, yeah. No, it's okay, it's okay.
Comfort. Are you done? Okay, now here.
Okay, look at comfort.
Another one. Okay.
Wait, no more.
Here, 1, 2, 3.